I'm always more than happy to have a conversation with someone to come to a resolution about whatever is going on. What was very disheartening and upsetting was the fact that when I separated from my ex-wife, we lived together in the same house in separate bedrooms for 6 months. And there was no communication or conversation between us two and no movement forward on the divorce process. We separated, moved into separate rooms, but nothing was continued about the divorce process and no conversation was being had between us. And I tried civilly multiple times. It got to the point where she ended up taking a domestic violence restraining order out on me. I'm not sure why. There was no physicality involved. I was trying to have a conversation, and she was the one that wanted to divorce me but wouldn't go forward with the process. So I ended up petitioning for the divorce right before she freaking served me with a domestic violence restraining order to remove me from the property and remove access to my son. Then I had to go through anger management classes and co-parenting classes. I happily did all that. Did my ex go through any of this stuff? No. Does she co-parent? No. None of this. But I was required to. So the person who cannot communicate, cannot hold a conversation, cannot do anything, is the one who got me to be removed from the property, painted me out with all these false narratives of who I am as a person, and spread all these lies and rumors about me. Nobody came to speak to me. Nobody came to hear my side of the story. It's amazing how ignorant everyone chose to be, and they chose to listen to her rather than hear both sides of the story and make their own determinations. This does not make any sense to me whatsoever. It really doesn't. It's not that hard to have a conversation to come to an understanding between people. And the fact that somebody is so unwilling to move forward with what they desire, so I move forward with what they desired for them just to finally get the fucking process moving, it makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. I am so glad that this divorce has been finalized for years now, 4 years now, over 4 years now. I did love this woman once upon a time. Not anymore. I'm really quite glad that we are apart. I've done the work. I've put the healing in, and I am proud of who I have become and how I stand in front of you today. I'm proud of who I am. I've put the work in. It's plain and simple. I have been the one facing my traumas, facing my past, facing everything that I have experienced throughout my life to be able to learn, grow, and heal to show up as I do today. I'm proud of how I show up today. I'm proud of how I showed up in the past too. Not everything, but most of it. I'm proud of how I showed up. I know who I am. I've put in the work. I've seen how everything has happened throughout my life. I accept everything that has happened throughout my life. I forgive everything that has happened throughout my life. Doesn't mean I'm not going to hold people accountable for how they showed up with me in my life. You don't get a free pass from me at all. Show up correctly or get out. I'm not tolerating any more mistreatment, any more anything. Anything. Come correctly or don't come at all. Because I'm not going to tolerate any abuse, any bullying, or any mistreatment. And anyone who tries to spread a story about me that is not true, or besmirch my name, use my name, say false things about me, what you say holds no water. Anyone who's going to take what anyone chooses to say about me without consulting me, no. I don't care what the fuck you heard from so-and-so. It doesn't matter. You come to me to have a conversation, to come to an understanding of what actually transpired. If you don't come to me to hear both sides of the story, I'm not going to tolerate you at all. You're not worth the fucking time. If you can't take the time to communicate with all parties, then you're not worth communicating with at all.